are 3 different paths if you want to call yourself a world champion of sim racing. NASCAR, open wheels, or endurance racing. But no matter which one you take, you can guarantee that the journey will always be tough, which few will ever complete. The iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series, the premier road racing series in sim racing, started with a new car taking center stage. Then, it was Martin Kroenke resisting any challenge thrown at him to break the 5-year stranglehold of Gregor Hutu as being world champion. These drivers and teams are not just competing for pride, they're competing for money. And with over $20,000 in prizes for each of the series up for grabs, drivers really do put it all on the line.
The NASCAR Beginner for Series, powered by iRacing, is the premier NASCAR esports series featuring the cars and tracks from the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. The 2016 campaign saw a return to the top of the mountain by Ray Alfalla as a 3-time Oval World Champion. The march to that championship was not easy, though, despite the fact that Ray Alfalla took home the most points in series history. It just also happened to be the tightest championship fight we had ever seen. These guys are set for the 2017 campaign.
The Blancpain GT Series hosts the top GT3 endurance teams in sim racing, with groups of 3 or more drivers sharing the wheel. This is a championship you can't win alone, and you need the same determination, passion and drive from your teammates to be successful. They often say that it takes just one mistake to lose a championship, and in team racing, it may not be your mistake that costs you the win. Last season, VRS Coanda Simsport won the championship by a single point. This year, who will step up to the plate?
These are the iRacing Esport World Championships, the pinnacle of sim racing competition. Catch it all season long with live coverage on iracing.com/live.
I actually, really enjoy dirt racing. Feels good to get in the car, and we have, great cars and engines and things at KKR, so it's nice to drive a fast sprint car.
Couple of separate lines developing, 3 wide action on a turn 2. Craig Kinzer, Casey Kane, and Kieran Pittman going at it.
I think the differences between, NASCAR and the sprint races on dirt is just a much different mindset. The way you drive your cars, the setup, the feel you're looking for. I think one of the hardest things to tell as a fan is when you're watching a race, whether it's a NASCAR race, a dirt race, is just what's really going on in the car. With iRacing, you can get the way that the track's changing, which they've done a great job in how the track changes throughout the night or throughout the race, just to try to capture it and let the fans play it and realize, like, man, there's actually a lot going on, and you can't always see that when you watch a race. So I think it's pretty neat. It's, enjoyable for me, but at the end of the day, it's actually much of a simulation, and there's a lot of ways that you can learn from that. And, early on, it was neat to look at the Cup tracks that I was going to, places that I had never been. So I think it kind of gives you a head start leading into a weekend. It's pretty real life, and that's pretty neat.
Going green. Green, green, green.
Hey guys, Christopher Bell here. As you guys know, iRacing is coming out with dirt and it's been a long time coming. So I'm here today to kind of show you around the sprint cars and hopefully give you some insight for whenever you first drive it. So here we are at Williams Grove, gonna go out and make a couple laps in the 410 wing sprint car. I'm on default setup with a gear change to a 522. As we roll out of the pits, you guys might notice that the car wants to pull left and you have to hold the steering wheel right to go straight. That's normal for a sprint car because you have so much stagger, it's always trying to turn the car left. Once you get up to speed, that goes away. Going down the straightaways, Williams Grove has really long straightaways and really tight corners. The big wings on the sprint cars, it always wants to pull you left into the corner, so it doesn't take much steering wheel input to get the car into the corner. A big key for the wing sprint cars is that they always like to go straight. They don't like to be too sideways. So the less steering wheel input you can have and the straighter you can keep the car, the faster you'll go. As the track slickens off, you'll be able to play with the setup to get the car driving even straighter yet. And that's a couple laps around Williams Grove. So here we are at Eldora Speedway. I'm on baseline setup with a gear change to a 511. As we roll out at Eldora Speedway, one thing that you'll notice is that the corners are really sweeping and it's almost a circular shape. The big thing about Eldora is just keeping that steering wheel straight. The straighter you keep the wheel and the less steering input that you give the car, the faster you'll go. The fast line around Eldora will be right around the inside wall in the corners and then with a big arc towards the outside walls down the straightaways. Then once the track slicks off, you'll be able to follow the groove up towards the outside wall, where the famous Eldora High Line comes into play. So now we're at Volusia Speedway Park with the 410 wing sprint car. I'm on baseline setup with a 511 gear, the same as what we ran at Eldora. Whenever you roll out on the racetrack, you'll notice that Volusia is similar to Eldora. They have long sweeping corners, and it's kind of circular in shape. At Volusia, whenever the track is fast, you'll want to be right down against the concrete wall in the corners with a nice big arc down the straightaway. Whenever the track starts to slicken up, you'll be able to follow the groove up higher and higher. Whenever you get into turns 3 and 4 though, the groove might get up onto the shelf, which is the flatter section of the racetrack, and then it becomes very difficult to exit turn 4 without getting into the wall. And that's just one of the characteristics of Volusia Speedway Park. Hope you guys have fun.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
And again, the green flag waves on the A feature. Better start for Schatz. Pittman leads into turn 1. Pittman on the bottom, Schatz on the top. Brad Sweet third, Shane Stewart fourth as they race to the end of the back straightaway. Schatz now to the very bottom of the speedway in 3 and 4, drifts up. Brad Sweet low all the way around 3 and 4. Pittman leads the opening lap. Brad Sweet coming after Tony Schatz for second through 1 and 2. Shane Stewart in 4th, Kyle Larson 50, and Manson in 6th as they race through 3 and 4. Larson takes a peek to the inside of Shane Stewart, but can't make the pass, and now Kerry Manson closing in on Larson as Darren Pittman opens up a bit of advantage on the rest of the field. Now Larson up to 4th, and now challenged by the 49 of Brad Sweet. Sweet to the inside of Larson, Schatz to the inside of Stewart for second. Battle's taking shape all over the racetrack now. Kyle Larson riding the cushion through 1 and 2. Coming after Tony Schatz and Shane Stewart, Darren Pittman continues to work the cushion as well with the race lead. Schatz back to the inside of Shane Stewart and makes the pass. Tony Schatz back to second at the exit of turn 4. This time by cross flags, halfway, 15 down, 15 to go. Bicycle in 1 and 2 by Sheldon Hodenshield, and he saves it. Halfway in this main event, Kyle Larson all over Shane Stewart for third. Stewart and Larson both go to the top in 1 and 2. Stewart maintains the advantage. Larson is right there with him, and they're both right behind Tony Schatz. Slide job. Kyle Larson to third and coming after Schatz for second. Larson works the bottom in 1 and 2 this time, but can't hold the low line. Can Shane Stewart get a run on him down the back straightaway? That allowed Tony Schatz to sneak away. Stewart back to the inside of Larson with a slide job, and he'll take the third spot back only momentarily as Larson crosses back underneath the number 2. Big lead for Darren Pittman, 2.12 seconds. Great battle between Kyle Larson and Shane Stewart. Stop me if you heard that before at the Lawrenceburg Speedway, only then it was a race for the lead. Larson all over Schatz for second down the back straightaway to the inside into turn 3. They'll go wheel to wheel out of turn 4. Kyle Larson and Tony Schatz race for second down the front straightaway. Larson goes to the cushion in turn 1. Schatz works the bottom. Schatz maintains second. Larson 4 car lengths behind him into turn 3. Traffic right in front of the leader as he closes in on the W20 of Greg Wilson. Larson around the outside of Schatz at the line, and Kyle Larson is now second. Kyle Larson down the back straightaway trying to close the gap between himself and Darren Pittman with this time 7 laps to go. Darren Pittman with the lead, and now Shane Stewart all over Kyle Larson for second. They race through 1 and 2, 3 wide with Jason Sides on the bottom. Stewart takes second from Larson into turn 3. Pittman on the bottom. Larson and Stewart up top. Larson around Pittman for the lead at the white flag. Kyle Larson leads it. Pittman back to the inside in 1 and 2. A 3-car battle for the lead on the final lap. Back straightaway for the final time. It'll be Kyle Larson on the bottom. Drifts high. Traffic in front of him, but Larson will win it an eagle. Extract himself from that 17K. He's out of the car and already climbing up top. Your main event winner, Kyle Larson. as they make their way to the green flag in River City Speedway. Into turn one, Jacob Allen grabs the lead. David Gravel running in the second spot. Kerry Matson third. Joey Saldana fourth. Gravel takes a peek to the inside, but Jacob Allen leads the opening lap. 3 wide for the back of the pack. Brad Sweet, Craig Kinzer, and Jason Johnson went 3 wide into turn one. Sweet gets the best of that ordeal. Runs the bottom of the speedway. Now challenged up top by the 41, Jason Johnson. Sweet running in the 6th spot. Johnson in 7th. Sweet to the inside, and Joey Saldana, the big cat, now into the top 5. Jacob Allen continuing to show the way on the bottom of the speedway. Track is still fast. Lap time still in the 10-second bracket. Heavy traffic right ahead for the driver of the Shark Racing 1 Easy goes right up to the cushion in 1 and 2. David Gravel just 6 car lengths behind him as they make their way into 3 and 4. Clyde Knipp, Ray Nygaard, Raider into the wall, upside down hard. Jacob Allen, a vicious crash in turn 4. We're back underway at River City. Trouble on the front stretch, car into the wall. It's the 41. Car's upside down. Car's flipping wildly down the front straightaway. Tim Kading and the 4, Paul McMahon. Jason Johnson got into the wall coming out of turn 4. Paul McMahon and Tim Kading get caught up. Several other cars involved there. Kerry Matson now just working around the outside of Adams. Will continue his pursuit. Matson to the inside of Gravel. Those drivers maintain control, but they got together coming out of turn 2, racing for the lead. Again. David Gravel above the level cushion, and Kerry Matson slides by to take the lead. Kerry Matson capitalizes on a mistake in 1 and 2. Gravel back to the inside. Matson will lead the lap, and Gravel back to his inside in 1 and 2, and Gravel takes the top spot back again. Kerry Matson led lap number 20. Gravel back in front as they come to the stripe on lap 21. White flag in the air for David Gravel. Gravel rides the bottom in 1 and 2. Rockets down the back straightaway. Win number 9 on the season for David Gravel will take place at River City Speedway. Kerry Matson second. Caution flag waving after the checkered as Logan Schuhart's car brakes and comes to a stop in turn 4.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from USA International Speedway, previously Lakeland, Florida, USA, of course, no longer. But here and alive and well on the iRacing simulation, we've thrown some dirt on it, and we're going to throw some 410 wing sprint cars at it, and it's going to be live here on iRacing Live, RaceSpot TV, and of course, DirtVision.com. Stick with us for some good old-fashioned wing sprints here at USA.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of Outlaws.
Welcome to week 2 here at USA Speedway. It's the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series, and of course, live here on iRacing Live, RaceSpot TV, Dirt Vision, And of course, it is brought to you by Race Spot TV and myself, Cam Walsh, Randy Chenoweth, Hugo Louis, of course, on the cameras. Randy, week 2 of season 2, and well, it's looking like these guys are getting their hands on these cars. The qualifying times are pretty much all in. Tim Ryan is one of the only cars that have still yet to put in their times, as well as Davey Scoville. But these guys are wrapping their heads around these cars, and these things are making them fly.
Well, Tim Ryan puts in his first lap, and it's actually a pretty quick one at an 18.006. Pole, though, currently held by Steven Renaud. That's a 17.998. Most of this field covered by about 0.6 of a second. Give me an interesting 25-lap run.
Absolutely, of course. This track isn't that long, but it is a fairly interesting one. It's a paperclip, a little bit like Williams Grove. We'll see what we can do here. It's 0.75 miles around for one singular trip around here, 25 laps. You got the grass on the inside, so you can't throw yourself to the inside line. We'll see how the outside works and if that works in. But either way, we're going to go to the grid here at USA International Speedway for round 2 of our World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. So, well, we'll just start it off right on the top as everybody's put in their qualifying time. Steven Renaud, the number 8 car, he will qualify in first. The only car to hit in the 17s, a 17.998, an absolute flyer. Tim Ryan, he'll be in 18.006. Kevin J. Holly will be starting in third. John Lazinski, he'll be starting outside row number 2 in position number 4. Austin Semmelman, he is doing good after last week's race at Eldora. He'll be starting in 5th. Robert Kerstetter, he'll be in 6th position. Robbie Stearns will be starting in 7th. Howard Weaver will be starting in 8th. Rhett Starnes in 9th. Davey Scoville in 10th. Ross Weiss in the 11th position. And Eric Ho and Mike Seibenek will be finishing out our race here at USA International. Randy, this is a fairly interesting circuit. No, it's not had dirt on it previous, but you know what? When you get to throw some dirt around, why not throw it on a track that seems to no longer exist? When you can do it here at USA, get a nice little paper clip on of it, have some fun here on a 3/4 mile.
Yeah, USA has actually been one of my favorite of the dirt tracks. I mean, Williams Grove has been number 1. Eldora is, of course, historic and a favorite amongst everyone, but I love the way these tracks with long straights and tight corners run. I can't wait until we get some of the 1/4 milers into the sim and get some really, really tight action going. And up until then, really, this is the closest thing we have, the USA and Williams Grove. And like you said, very paperclip-ish, long front straightaway, long back straightaway, relatively tight in the corners. These guys are going to be able to race really, really aggressive at this place. And depending how the track comes in, you can be either down around the bottom, you can be up around along the middle. Sometimes, though, you can even find yourself up against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And as these cars are getting themselves ready to rock and roll behind that iRacing official pace truck, just like to make sure everybody knows and give a nice little shout out. Thanks for making Race Spot TV part of your day, and as well as Dirt Vision and all of the other medias that you guys follow along with. We certainly appreciate it. Steven Renaud, he will get his car straightened out and behind that pace truck. We're going to go here, I think it's probably just a 1-lap warm-up here, as I don't see the lights on that safety pace truck.
No, it's 2.
It is 2? Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. But one of these days, I will have the number count correct, I swear. But either way, these cars are getting themselves worked up 2x2. The track surface has moderate usage, and what that means is that we're going to see this track surface wear in very quickly, Randy, and we'll see what these guys can do with that surface when they're chasing the dirt.
Yeah, with the moderate usage already, that bottom is going to be already a little bit eaten up. It's going to be a little bit slick down there, but I don't think it's going to be quite slick enough that at the start of this race, I think we'll still see that bottom line be strong. However, if we get ourselves a good length green flag run in this one, I think that top side could come into favor a little bit later on in this one, and that's, at least from my opinion, that's when I start having fun in these wing sprint cars. Once you get up along the cushion, just a couple inches away from the wall, really putting the back end out there, trying to get the power down and power out of the corner, that's when these things get a lot of fun. 25 laps here, hopefully we can see a bit of that.
The 3/4 mile of USA International Speedway shouldn't be a bad show for us all. Hopefully we'll get a good long green flag run as the pace truck is going past the backstretch right now. He'll work his way towards the front of the field, to the front stretch one more time. The front of the field, though, Steven Renaud, he is going to be looking in his black and purple accented 410 wing sprint car to start round number 2, the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series here on the iRacing Live and Race Spot TV. He'll let it go as soon as he is able table, and off and away he'll go to the high side. Clean start here as they're going into one, throwing a very sideways, trying to find the dirt. Somebody's way up high, people are way down low. We've got a green flag here at USA.
I think we have a car stopped in 1 and 2. This is Davey Scoville. He's up against the wall. He's gotten off the racetrack, though, but Stephen Arnaud out to a blistering start into an early lead. Tim Ryan fighting with Kevin J. Hawley down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Down along the bottom of the racetrack, and you see cars, some going up high, some going down low. Seems like that top side cam already coming in strong.
Yeah, Stephen Renaud, he ended up just clipping well to the outside. He actually just went well to the inside of the paperclip, clipped the grass, and he went way high, so he is losing time hand over fist at 18.7 that last time by, and the cars chasing him of Tim Ryan was an 18.4, so 0.4 of 1 second, just like that. Thankfully, Stephen did not manage to break his suspension at all. They're throwing it here. I think that they are going to have to really modulate that wing adjusters, as I see in the back a little bit of a slide job from Austin Semmelman as I'm looking at the battle for position number 4 between him and John Lazinski.
Keeping an eye out front, though, Stephen Arnaud is not safe out in front. Been about a half-tenth is what the second-place runner of Tim Ryan has taken out of that leading 8 car every time around this racetrack. But he's now got the 2 machine of Kevin J. Hawley to fight with through 3 and 4. Hawley not able to make the pass done. Cycled himself back up into the 3rd spot, but still, that 4 machine reeling in your leader of Stephen Arnaud as they work out of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. Going to be 20 laps to go next time across the line. And Stephen Arnaud, only driver in the 17s in qualifying. He's not going to get away with this one easy, though. They work down the front straightaway, and that second-place runner a much better run into 1 and 2.
Absolutely, and here comes Tim Ryan. Will they click rims? No, they will not. Actually extraordinarily close for Tim Ryan as they are coming into corner number 1 once again here. The Australian on the inside. Will he get it sorted out? No, he will not. If that was the backstretch, excuse me. But Stephen Renaud in the black and purple, Tim Ryan in the black and blue, and then Kevin J. Hawley in the black and turquoise, being pursued by the all-black car of Austin Semmelman. Well, Randy, I think these guys are starting to have an enjoyment for the black color. But either way, Tim Ryan, he's trying to pull alongside, but he's trying to find his way. Oh, he ate some of the rear tire there, but he is throwing it to the inside, and they lock, and he will end up having to wash out, and he'll get himself sorted away.
That was an aggressive move, but as you talk about the top 4, you might think you're in New Zealand because it's all blacks in the top 4 from Renaud, Hawley, Ryan, and Semmelman. Semmelman still fighting with Ryan in 3rd and 4th, and now down into 1 and 2. Steve Renaud, after that little incident with the 4 machine of Tim Ryan, throwing that big aggressive move, has a little bit of breathing room as they go down the back straightaway into 3 and 4, but Kevin Hawley has an opportunity now to win. He throws the big slider into 3 and 4, can't make it stick, but he's going to be able to cycle it just behind that number 8 machine as they come down the front straightaway now. That's 10 laps now, 9 laps in the books, logging lap number 10, coming off of corner number 2. Can Kevin J. Hawley get the run? He's got the momentum. I think he's going to throw it up the inside into 3. Yes, he does, but the door gets shut. 2 machine has to get off the throttle, and I think he clipped that inside wall.
2 tires in the grass, and he will actually clip the outside rim, and he will be sent all the way around. That axle ends up clipping into the inside of USA International Speedway. The car seems to be okay, but he'll have to loop that thing back around. Yellow flag pulled out for that. That happened right in front of the starter, and that's a pretty easy yellow to throw. And Kevin J. Hawley, boy, he tried that. He got 2 tires in the grass, and once he started doing that, he tried and tried to get that thing sorted out, but it just wasn't happening. I don't think Stephen Renaud did anything wrong. He found himself on the in-line. No, once Kevin J. Hawley, that right front was very dedicated to find the left rear of Renaud's car.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate incident here for Kevin J. Hawley, but as you said, that 2 machine looks okay. He should be restarting from the back of the field, have no problems. We actually just had an incident under caution. Well, a little mental mistake there from Mike Siebenate, just basically, I think, lost track where the pace car was, came in too hot trying to catch the field, and he caught the back of Eric Hu. He went around, likely not a major concern, but sort of an interesting kind of rookie mistake there from Mike Siebelnick.
Yeah, I don't think they touched. Oh, he managed to he was inches away, but yeah, he had to throw that thing well to the back. So didn't lose any positions though, but either way, Kevin J. Hawley, he's gonna have to try to find his way around here. This track is slick, Randy, and I think it's really evident. You're able to see Stephen Renaud even. He's able to at least find a line that he's comfortable with here. But you talk about his laps, I mean 19s, 18.5s. I mean, it is a bit tough to race here today at USA International.
Yeah, sometimes the conditions can be relatively tough, especially when you're in that somewhat one-groove situation. You don't really have The bottom isn't dead enough that you can really make the top work. So you see everyone, they're kind of running roughly in the middle. And when that happens, it gets very, very difficult trying to throw a slider on someone, because really when they're in the middle of the racetrack, you don't really have a lot of room to work with. And here, work in the middle is actually a little bit lower than it is at a lot of other racetracks around the United States. So it's very, very difficult in the conditions they have. I think in this last 10 laps, that bottom should slick off just a little bit more. And I think there might just be a short window if we stay green, where that top side really comes in around the cushion, where you might be able to make the move around the top of someone.
Okay, this time by we're going to go green, as I finally understand, hey, the lights are off on the pace track. That means we're going green, as at least I hope this time. Pretty sure they've all lined up. They're ready to go. Steven Renaud, he is ready to rock and roll. Will he do what he did the last time that he had to start the field? Tim Ryan still on the outside. He qualified second, so the same row right off the start, right off the bat. Steven Renaud, he'll let it loose. 700 plus ponies now marching down USA International Speedway. We're green once again. Will get themselves sorted out. Tim Ryan well to the high end. That'll possibly allow Austin Semmelman to come in. No, they'll go into a line. They'll get their ways into 3 and 4 for the first time. Tim Ryan, though, he's trying to do that outside line.
Tim Ryan working the top side, and you can see already that slickness down along the bottom, not making it easy to make passes right now. As Austin Sullivan now has to fight with Rhett Starnes through 1 and 2. He's going to get that pass complete, but Starnes gets a big run coming off of corner number 2. I think he could have thrown it up the inside potentially, but chose not to. 3 Machine now down to the inside against Ryan, trying to get the slider done, but not quite able to do so. Inside of 10 laps to go, make that 9 laps to go into 1 and 2 now. Steven Renaud still has a comfortable lead. Tim Ryan trying to reel that gap in.
Yeah, and they're now still continuing to work their way into corner number 3 here. Somebody's well to the low. Austin Sullivan's trying to make it work. I think these guys just keep catching some of that grass. Obviously, the grass is not going to be helping those tires, but Steven Renaud, he's just throwing it right there. He's trying to keep his way through. Tim Ryan, he's going to lock in. He's going to see what he can do. Let's look at the action down to the back, though. Robert Kerstetter, he is currently in a fight with Robbie Starnes and Ross Weiss, as these guys are fighting high-low through the corners right here, as Robert Kerstetter, he's able to keep his way through it here as they're trying to throw their way in. Some of these guys are throwing it so early into that green cone. I've seen a couple of these guys get some air.
Yeah, these guys getting really close through, really pushing the boundary. And you see the outside line through 3 and 4 seems to be preferred through 1 and 2. Seems like the bottom is still working relatively efficiently. You see them getting all the way down against the grass through 1 and 2. Now they come up onto the back straightaway yet again. Top 4 cars, all within about a 1/10 of a second of one another. As the 4 Machine of Tim Ryan going to throw a big slider into 1 and 2. He takes the lead for the moment, but the 8 Machine works the cut back expertly. Steven Renaud retains the lead, but Tim Ryan wants it bad. He looks to the inside to get a 1 and 2, but way over the grass. I think he clipped the pit wall. Up to the top side he goes, and that gave Renaud a big lead. 3 wide though for second down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. The 9 Machine on the bottom, the 3 in the middle, the 4 along the top. Gonna be 3 laps to go at the line, and there's contact, and we got 2 cars upside down. Bit of an incident here down the front straightaway with inside of a few laps to go.
Bit more than a bit. Tim Ryan, he ended up flying into the air. Not happy there. We'll try to see if we can get a replay. These cars, they were making contact, and through that motion, they ended up throwing themselves around. I think Rhett Starnes ended up picking up some of that damage. And looking at that replay now, Tim Ryan, though, the focus of that, as well as Austin Sullivan, 2 extraordinarily fast drivers. I mean, that was just, it's real hard to, when you're making that decision. They're saying that it really, the track is slicking to the point where a lot of these guys are just struggling, I think, for some grip, and it's hard to really try to make an attack and a launch a maneuver.
They need to learn how to deal with it then. That's dirt racing. We go to any dirt track night, any short track in the United States, end of the night in the feature, the track is really slicked off. This track is more than raceable. Maybe their sets can't deal with it, but that's on them more than anything.
Well, as we've known, the iRacing developers have most certainly not made it a secret that this season it's going to be a little bit more worn in. I think there was a lot of not complaints per se, but just some feedback that the track really didn't have a lot of time to slicken off, and so to allow us to get to that phase where people are really searching for grip, and that people who are able to find that grip will go to the front. I think the wing adjustments are also a pretty important aspect of this the sprint car that we have here. You can push it forward, you can pitch it a little bit to the back. track, and most times it's for comfort, but really once you start getting to the bleeding edge of these cars' speed, you really need to be able to throw that car into a particular position, a bit like an IndyCar weight jacker, I guess, where it's not so much about your comfort level as it is about getting that all-important speed, and I think these guys perhaps are learning that here at USA, because you got to have that thing wrenched one way or another to get that right rear to stick.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another big season where people are really learning about these cars. Like you said, last season when we first got the dirt and everything, iRacing officials basically said, you know, as you said, flat out, we're going to make it somewhat easy on everyone, kind of ease everyone into it. The tracks are going to be really sticky, but I mean, we're already seeing it in this race. This is about as slick as we've gotten it. We're not going to get a restart, so this is going to be the last lap under caution, unfortunately. So unfortunate end to what was turning into a exciting run to the finish, Cam, but you got the post-race calls. They run into 3 and 4.
Well, absolutely, Steven Renaud. I mean, he had an absolute fight back from Tim Ryan. Tim Ryan tried everything he could do. The Australian made an absolute effort of it, and it was great to watch him race with all these guys around him. But Steven Renaud, he'll lead from flag to flag as he will pick up his first victory here in the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series and USA International Speedway. It was a good run, Randy, I have to say. Unfortunate that it ended under caution, but a little bit understandable with just how hard these guys were racing.
Yeah, those guys were really pushing each other to the limit. That, I mean, 3 wide down the back straightaway after that big slider came from Tim Ryan. I mean, it was really, really hard racing coming to the checkered flag, and sometimes, unfortunately, that's just how it all pans out. But down to the post-race results, Cam, what do you got to say?
Well, we'll get the music cued and we'll get everything sorted out, and we will take a look here at where everybody finished at USA International Speedway for round number 2 of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. It'll go to Steven Renaud in 10 minutes and 49 seconds. That number 8 car, he was up front all day. He didn't have to make too much of an effort. It seemed to be one line, but a lot of guys were trying, certainly. That's not to say there wasn't a lot of action. From 9th to 2nd, Rhett Starnes will go. John Lazinski, he'll finish in 3rd. Robert Kerstetter, he'll come home in the 4th position. Ross Weiss will finish in 5th. Robbie Starnes will finish in the 6th position. Mike Seibenek, he'll come home in 7th after starting from 13th. Your final running car at the start, well, he'll finish mid-pack. Kevin J. Holly, what could have been, he finished in the 8th position. Howard Weaver in 9th. Eric Ho in 10th position. Austin Selman, he's involved in that wreck. He'll finish in 11th. Tim Ryan and Davey Scoville will round out the rest of this race, 12 and 13. We're going to take a quick moment, just a quick break. We'll be right back in just a few moments' time. We'll see if we can get anybody in the Race Spot TV booth for interviews, but if not, either way, final thoughts and words, and we'll go from there. But either way, of course, you are watching Race Spot TV, iRacing Live, and DirtVision.com, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, I'm Scott Speed, driver of this amazing Volkswagen Beetle GRC car. I got good news for the iRacing fam. We got this coming in. I'm currently working on it myself personally to make sure that it is as accurate as possible. With the addition of dirt and now this mean car, it is gonna be so fun. And it's gonna be available free to all the iRacing members. Personally, I can't wait to get out there and race you guys on it.
Welcome back to Race Spot TV on iRacing Live and DirtVision.com. Of course, was round number 2 of the USA Speedway race of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. Myself, Cam Welch, Randy Chenoweth, Hugo Louis. We're seeing if we can get any biters on the interview booth. Not quite sure if that's going to happen though, Randy. So while we wait to see, give it a minute or two. Just take a look at this. It's one of the we've got 2 more circular tracks. We've got 2 paperclip tracks. This is definitely the longest one. This is longer than Williams Grove, I believe, anyways. And I think the racing was fairly good, but it's just people are really fighting for that grip.
Yeah, it's just what happens when you get aggressive racing, and I think as well people learning how to race on this slick surface is going to be really, really difficult because it's going to take, I think, a bit of getting used to, I think, for a lot of these guys in terms of being able to run super aggressive. But like you said, tracks that we have, the 2 paperclip shaped ones, you got Williams Grove and USA. USA, of course, being somewhat fictional as it doesn't exist anymore, but iRacing kind of just throwing dirt on it to give us an extra track in the list. Then the 2 circular ones, Eldora and Volusia. We go to the second of those next week. Volusia for 30 laps, going to be under the lights yet again. That's the second time this season. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Volusia, of course, I have to say pretty much my favorite, as it is very close to Brewerton Speedway, which probably will be a name you probably won't be hearing because of how small it is, but that's just how dirt racing goes. It's always about that grassroots racing, and well, either way, perhaps if you're interested, you like in what you're seeing, you can fire up your favorite search provider with the attached mapping tools and see if you can find a dirt race near you and go stop in and say hello. You certainly won't regret it, that's for sure, and that's coming from 2 diehard dirt racing fans. But either way, I think that that's going to do it. And so with that, I will say that this, of course, has been a production of RaceSpot TV and Worm Design on the graphics. And, well, it's been a good day here at USA International Speedway. We'd always love for it to go longer, but Randy, they got to pack these things in. So anything you'd like to say before we get this show on going down to Fallujah?
Can't wait till Volusia. I hope we see another slick racetrack, and that's going to be interesting.
Well, certainly. So, either way, for myself, Cameron Walsh, for Randy Chenoweth, for Hugo Louis, this has been RaceSpot TV production. We'll see you later.